Hello friends, myself Mridul Kumar Jain, Assistant Professor in Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. Today we will discuss ring and its property. So we will start from the ring. In a group we know that we have a set of elements and a operator, and with respect to this operator, the element of the group will follow four properties. First is the closure property, second is associativity, third is identity element of the group, and fourth is inverse of each element. But in case of ring, we have a set of elements and we have two fixed operators. First is the addition, second is the multiplication. And we have a set of elements. If this set of elements with respect to addition will follow some set of properties, and with respect to multiplication it will follow some set of properties. And if these elements will follow these set of properties, then we can say that these elements will form a ring. So we will discuss one by one. We already have told you that there are two operators. First is the addition, second is multiplication. In a ring, the operators are fixed. The first is plus and second is multiplication. And if the set of element will form a set of property with respect to addition and multiplication. So for the addition, it should be the abelian group, or we can say the commutative group. What does mean the abelian group or the commutative group? I have already told you a set of elements will form a group if it will follow a four property: closure property, associativity, third is the identity element of the group, and inverse of each element. And if this group follow commutative property, then this type of group is known as the abelian group or the commutative group. So with respect to addition, if the ring elements follow these five properties, then we can say it will form a abelian group with respect to addition. For the multiplication, it should be a semi-group. What does mean by the semi-group? If the set of elements with respect to multiplication will follow a closure property and the associativity, then this type of group is known as the semi-group. So for multiplication, it will follow these two properties, the closure property and the associativity. The third one is these elements will follow the left distributive law and the right distributive law. What is the left and right distribution law? If there is any element, suppose this is A, and we are composing with A with B plus C, then it will be A dot B plus A dot C. That means we are distributing the element A with B plus C from the right hand side. So from the left hand side. So we are saying this is the left distributive law. Similarly, if we are composing the element A from the right hand side with B plus C, then it will be B multiplied by A plus C multiplied by A. That means we are composing A from the right hand side. So that's why we are saying this is the right distributive law. So if the set of elements of the ring will follow this is the five property. For addition, it will follow five property. First is the closure, second is the associativity, third is the identity element of the group, fourth is the inverse of each element, and fifth is the commutative law. Then with respect to addition, it will follow these five properties. With respect to multiplication, it will follow two properties: the closure property and the associativity. So these are the two properties, and two properties are the left distributive law and right distributive law. So that means if the set of elements will follow these 9 properties, then this set of elements will form a ring. So let's have an example. Suppose there are two elements A and B. We are considering two elements. What is the closure property is, if we will consider any two elements, and we are talking about with respect to addition. First we are considering the operator, binary operator is the addition. So for addition, I have already told you it will follow five properties. So what is the first property? First property is the closure with respect to addition. So what does it mean? it means if you will take two elements, suppose the two elements are 2 and 3, or all the elements are belong to integer, then if the output is also belongs to the set of elements, then we can say these elements are closed under closure property. Similarly, what is the associative property? If there are three elements A, B and C, and what is it? What it will be? A plus parenthesis B plus C equal to A plus B plus C. So this is the associative property with respect to addition. Third is there exists identity element denoted by 0 such that A plus 0 equal to A for all element of the ring. So we already know if the binary operator is the addition, the identity element will always be the 0. So, and we will denote by the 0. So we already know that what is the condition for the identity element? That means that A plus E, it will be 0. It will be equal to A plus E equal to A, and in such a case E will be the 0. So identity element will be the 0. And fourth is the existence of inverse. Existence of inverse for each and every element. So we already know what is the property of the inverse. A plus A inverse, it must be identity element. So what does it mean? Suppose A is the element and A inverse suppose is Y and identity element is the 0. So that means in such a case A inverse or this is equal to Y and this will always be equal to minus A. Similarly, it should be commutative. If there are two elements A plus B, then it must be equal to B plus A. If these five properties follow in one go, then we can say the elements of the ring are abelian. Okay, so only for with respect to addition, it must follow these five properties. For with respect to multiplication, it should follow only two properties. The first is the closure property. So what does it mean? If you will calculate A multiplied by B or A dot B, then the output of this A dot B or A multiply B must be the element of the ring. Similarly, the associativity. If you will consider any three element A, B, C, and you will find out A dot B dot C or A dot B parenthesis में dot C, then the left hand side and right hand side should be equal. If the left hand side and right hand side equal, then we can say it is following the associativity property. So with respect to multiplication, it should follow the closure property and the associativity. And 8th and 9th property is the left distributive and right distributive. So if you can see, we can explore all the properties of the ring. Then if these elements following these all 9 properties in one go, then we can say these elements are forms a ring. So we have different type of rings. First is the commutative ring. I have already told you that if the multiplication composition R is commutative, it means AB is equal to BA. I have already told you with respect to addition, ring is already commutative. But I am talking about the ring is commutative with respect to multiplication. What does it mean? It means that with respect to multiplication, it is following only two properties. One is the closure property and second is the associativity. But if the ring elements are following the commutative property, then we can say the ring is commutative. With respect to, I am talking about with respect to multiplication, because with respect to multiplication, it does not necessary that it always will follow the property of commutativity. So if it is following the commutative property with respect to multiplication, then we can say this ring will be the commutative ring. Second is the ring with unity element. So see the definition. R is said to be a ring with unity element and 1 be the identity element of the second composition. Then any A belongs to R is called unit element if there exists B belongs to R such that AB equal to 1 or equal to BA. That means if there is one element, I already know that 1 is the identity element. Okay, and if I am talking about there is a one element A and there exists second element B, and if we will find out the composition of A and B, either A and B or B and A, and it is equal to 1, and it is equal to 1. 1 is the identity element of the group. So if it follows this property, then we can say this is a ring with the unity element. When it will be called the ring with the unity element, if there is a element A and there exists another element B, if we will find out the composition of AB or the BA and it is equal to 1, then we can say that this is the ring with unity element. There is another concept of ring with or without zero divisor. So a ring element A is not equal to 0. Suppose there is a element A. Okay, and it is not equal to 0. A is not equal to 0. A is not equal to 0. Is called a zero divisor if there exists another element B which is not equal to 0. A is called the zero divisor if there exists another element of the ring which is also not equal to the 0. In such case, either AB equal to 0 or BA equal to 0. AB equal to 0 or BA equal to 0. That means what does it mean? If there exists a element which is not equal to 0 and there exists another element B which is not equal to 0, but the product of these two elements is 0. So you can think in such a way, in generally if the A and B, though there are two elements and which are not equal to 0, but the product is 0. How it is possible? But in a ring there exists different type of elements. There does not exist only the integer type of values. So we can say always how it is possible that AB equal to 0, but it has different type of element, matrix type of element or different type of elements. So in such a case, this possibility exists that the AB equal to 0 or the B equal to 0. When A is not equal to 0 and B is not equal to 0, when these two elements are not 0 but the product is 0. So we can say this ring with zero divisor. When we will say ring without zero divisor, if any, in the obvious case, when A is not equal to, A is 0 or B is equal to 0. If one of the element or both the element are 0, if A equal to 0 and B equal to 0, in such a case AB may be equal to 0. And in general case, it is very obvious. In case of simple numbers, it can be easily understand. If one of the element is 0, the product will always be 0. But special case is what the special case is the ring with the zero divisor when both the elements are not equal to 0, but the product is 0. So ring with zero divisor. It is very important concept of the ring. Next is the cancellation law. I have already told you in the case of ring, there are only two operators. One is the addition, second is the multiplication. For addition, it is following 5 properties. I have already told you multiple times that it should follow the closure property, associativity, identity element of the ring, and inverse of the ring. So we can use all the law which are exist in the group theory. But if the operator is multiplication, then we cannot use all the law which are exist in the group theory. So when we can use the cancellation law in group theory, if AB is equal to AC, then we can use the left cancellation law and we can cross out the A, or we can say B equal to C. Similarly, if there is BA is equal to CA, and we can use the right cancellation law and we can say B is equal to C. But it is only possible if the element A is not equal to 0. If A is not equal to 0, I have already mentioned in both the equations, if A is not equal to 0, then we can use the cancellation law. Only when the A is not equal to 0, whatever the element we are cancelling, it should not be equal to 0. Then we can use the cancellation law. Okay, what is the division ring? Next, the concept of division ring or a skew ring. You can say a ring is called division ring if its non-zero elements. Important word is the non-zero element from a group under multiplication. Okay, so I have already discussed in the multiplication the ring elements follow only two properties. The first is the closure property and second is the associativity. But what the division ring is saying, in case of multiplication, when the binary operator is the multiplication and its non-zero elements, you can leave if there is a set of elements and there exists a 0. So leave the 0, subtract the 0, abstract the 0. Then remaining element will follow all the property of the group. That means with respect to multiplication for the non-zero element, if the elements are following with respect to multiplication the closure property, associativity, inverse of each element and identity element of the group, then we can say this type of ring is known as division ring or the skew ring. Division ring or the skew ring only for the non-zero elements. Important word is the non-zero elements will form a group. That means it will follow these group 4 properties of the group. Next is the pseudo ring. What does mean the pseudo ring? A non-empty set of ring. The first word is the non-empty. That means the ring contains some elements, and with operation addition and multiplication is satisfying all the postulate except distributive law is called the pseudo ring. For making a ring, it is very much necessary it should follow a 5 property with respect to addition, 2 property to making a semi-group with respect to multiplication, and next 2 property is the left distributive and right distributive. If the set of elements of the ring is forming a abelian group with respect to addition and a semi-group with respect to multiplication, but it is not following the 2 property of distributivity, that means left distributive and right distributive, but it is following the first 7 properties. Okay, so in such a case we will call this ring element as a pseudo ring. Then this particular ring will be called as a pseudo ring. Now see the example. The set of integers I with respect to addition and multiplication will form a ring. So first we will check that it will form a abelian group or not. So first is the closure property. For the closure property we will take any 2 elements of the integer and we will check that the output belongs to R or not. Suppose we are taking 2 elements 2 and 3, 2 plus 3, and it will be 5, and 5 belongs to the R, or we can say belongs to I, because in this ring we have the set of integers. So now we can generalize it. If whatever you will take 2 elements A or B from the integers, its addition always belongs to the integer. So we can say the group of integers will closed under addition. Second is the associativity. If you will take any three elements of the integer, suppose you will take the three elements 2, 3 and 5, then you will find out 2 plus 3 plus 5. This must be equal to 2 plus 3 plus 5. So you can find the output of left hand side will be the 10. And what will be the output of the right hand side? It is again 10. So left hand side and right hand side is equal. So these elements are following the associativity property. And now we can generalize in such a way that if you will take any three elements of the integers and you will check out this operation of associativity, it will always be equal to the left hand side and right hand side. Third is the identity element. Identity element, we already know in a group theory, the equation of identity element is A plus E equal to A. And it is only possible when E equal to 0. So for the identity element, the equation will be A plus 0 equal to A. A plus 0 equal to A, or we can say 0 plus A is also equal to the A. Next property is the inverse. For the inverse property, we already know कि A plus A inverse, it must be equal to identity element. And we know that the identity element is 0. That means कि A plus A inverse is equal to 0. So what it will be? That means कि A inverse is always equal to the minus A. So minus A for any element, its minus integer is also available or also be the part of the integers. So that means we can say there exists the inverse of each and every element in a group. Next, we have to find out the commutativity. So suppose we are saying there are two elements 2 plus 3 and it must be equal to 3 plus 2. So we already know the addition is commutative. A plus B is equal to B plus A. So the ring, if the elements are in the form of integers, then it will always be equal to the A plus B equal to B plus A. Now we have to check the two property with respect to multiplication. The first is the commutative, the closure property, and second is associativity. So we can check if you will take two elements 2 or 3, 2 multiply by 3, it will be 6 and it is also belongs to the integer. And if you will take any two elements of the integer, its product will always be the part of the integer or it belongs to the integer. So it is following, these elements are closed under multiplication. For associativity, you will take three elements. Suppose these elements are 2, 3 or 5. This is equal to 2 multiply by 3 multiply by 5. So what it will be? It is 30 and it is 30. So we can say left hand side equal to right hand side. So now we can generalize. If you will take any three elements from the integer group, then it will always follow the associativity property. And similarly, we can check the left distributive and right distributive. In this left distributive and right distributive, we are using both operator in one equation. We are using the addition and multiplication in the same equation. So if you can check, then in such a way, you can also find out that the left hand side and right hand side is equal in left distributive law, and same in the right distributive law you can find out the left hand side and right hand side are equal if all the properties of the ring or the integer will form or will follow these 9 properties in one go, then we can say the integer will form a ring. Now see the example. In a ring, Z plus sign and multiplication, 1 and minus 1 are the unit element. We have to check that 1 and minus 1 are the unit elements of the ring. Okay, so we know that if these are the two elements 1 and minus 1, what is the definition of unit element? If there are two elements A and there exists another element B, if AB equal to 1, then we can say B is the unit element of A. Similarly, we can say A is the unit element of B if AB is equal to 1. So if the elements are 1 and minus 1, when it will be possible? If the product of two elements is 1. So there are only two possibilities. If A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 1, then in this case you will find the multiplication of two elements is 1. If the two elements are minus 1 multiply by minus 1, then you can find out 1. There are only two cases for all the integers. There are only two cases when you will multiply in such a way that A multiplied by B is equal to 1. So that's why we are saying that 1 and minus 1 are the two elements of the ring. Similarly, in the you can see in the second question, in the ring there are 5 elements 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there the operators are modulo addition with modulo 5 and multiplication with modulo 5, and we have to find out the unit element. For every non-zero element we have to find out the unit element. So we have calculated the composition table with respect to multiplication, because we are in the interest of when we will find AB is equal to 1, when we will consider two elements and the output should be the 1. And what is the modulo operation? When there is two elements A and B, A multiplication with modulo 5 B, and what does it mean? That we will multiply A and B and we will divide the 5, and in such a case remainder should be 1. Remainder should be 1. Okay, so we on this basis we have made this composition table. In the composition table you can find out when we are considering 1 and 1, then we are finding the element 1. Okay, similarly you can find 2 and 3. For this element we have the 1, 2 and 3. Similarly for 3 and 1, 3 and 2, we are getting 1. Okay, similarly for 4 and 4, we are getting 1. So you can see for 1 and 1 multiplication with 1, that means 1 divided by 1, we will find out the remainder 1. So this will be the 1. Similarly, when you will multiply 2 and 3, and it will be the 2 and multiply by 3, it will be the 6. When you will divide it by 5, the remainder will be the 1. Similarly, when you will multiply 3 and 2, it will be the 6, and when you will divide by 5, the remainder will be the 1. Similarly, when 4 divided by 4, this is the 16, and you will divide 16 by 5, the remainder will be the 1. So you can see with respect to 1 is the unity element. If the element is 2, then there exists another element 3. This is the unity element. With respect to 2, 3 is the unity element. With respect to 3, 2 is the unity element. And with respect to 4, 4 is the unity element. So that means the question is saying that every non-zero element is the unit elements. So excluding only 0, all the elements are unit elements. We can easily find out. Now there are some theorems related to the ring. You can see first is the 0A equal to A0 equal to 0. So 0, we will consider the 0a, okay, and we can write 0 as a 0 plus 0, okay, and if you will use the left distributive, then it will be the 0a and 0a. Then we can use the left cancellation law and we can find the intended result. What does the zero ring is? Zero ring, a ring is the zero ring if there exists precisely only one element, either 0 or 1, or we can say 0 or 1, or we can say 1 equal to 0, because it contains only one element. So suppose 1 equal to 0, okay, there exists any element 1 equal to 0 in the ring. In such a case, we can find out that a dot 1 or a dot 0, we can operate these two elements from the left hand side, or we are composing these two elements with the a. So a dot 1 equal to 0 and a dot 0 equal to 0. In both the case, it is giving the 0. That means it is all when it is possible when 1 equal to 0. It will be possible in a one condition when 0 equal to 1. Next theorem is minus 1a equal to minus a. So before proving this equation, I will first find out this value, minus 1 dot a plus minus 1 dot a plus a. So in such a case, minus 1 into a, and we can write a as 1 into a. We can write a as 1 into a. Now I will use the property of left distributive. So we can leave this a outside, and what will be the inside value? Minus 1 plus 1, and minus 1 plus 1 will be the 0 into a, and this will be equal to, this value will be equal to the 0. Now I will prove this theorem, the given statement. Minus 1 into a, we can write minus 1 into a plus 0. Just we have added the 0, because adding 0, the value will not be the change. Now we will write 0 as a plus minus a. We can write, because a and minus a, it will be the 0. So we can put at the place of 0 a and minus a. Now we will use the associativity property. After that, minus 1 dot a plus a, and we have left out this minus a, and we have write down these two elements in one parenthesis, and we have already calculated that this value is equal to the 0. I have already calculated. So 0 plus minus a, then it equal to minus a. Next thing is, we have to prove minus a dot b equal to a dot minus b equal to minus ab. So first we will check the first value is equal to the second one. So how we are proving this equation? Minus a dot b, we can write minus a as minus 1 into a, correct? We can write minus a as minus 1 into a. Or now we can use the associative property, where we can first we can use the commutative property, when we can write a as a into minus 1. Okay, so first we will use commutative property, then we will use associativity. So after commutativity, we can write minus 1 into a as a into minus 1. Then we can use the associativity. Then that means we can change the parenthesis. So this time we are using the parenthesis between a and minus 1. Now we are using the parenthesis minus 1 and b. So this will be equal to a minus b. So we can easily prove that the first expression is equal to the minus second expression. Now if you have to prove that the first expression is equal to the third one, Okay, so what it will be? Minus A dot B, we can write minus A as minus 1 into A, correct? Now we will use the SHAP. We will left out minus 1 and keep A and B in one go. So it will be the A dot B. And what does it mean? This is equal to minus AB. This is equal to minus AB. Okay. So now you can see a pseudo ring does not necessarily have a multiplicative identity element. To prove that the first expression equal to the third one without assuming the existence of a multiplicative identity, we can show that A minus A dot B is indeed the inverse of A dot B by showing that the adding them up results in additive identity element. If we are showing that this is a element and this is the inverse, okay, then what will be the value? If A, there is the element A and there exists the another element the B which is the inverse of A, then in such a case A plus B must be equal to the identity element, or we can say equal to 0. Similarly, we are proving that this is a element and this is the inverse, then the summation of these two elements must be equal to 0. So then we are using the right distributive property. So it will be the A minus B dot B, then it will be the A minus A will be the 0 dot B and equal to 0. That because this element and this element, the summation of these two elements are 0. So we can say A dot B is a inverse of minus A dot B. So, okay, thank you. So, in the whole lecture, we have seen the different type of rings, how many, what is the ring and different type of rings. Ring must follow all the 9 properties, that means 5 properties with respect to abelian group and 2 properties with respect to multiplication, and it should form a semi-ring. And 2 properties are the left distributive and right distributive. If a ring following these 9 properties in one go, then we can say this set of elements is forming a ring. Then we have seen different type of ring like zero ring, division ring, skew ring. After that we have seen the concept of unit element of the ring, and we have seen the concept of zero divisor. Then we have proved some theorems related to the ring. So this is the total outcome of this lecture. You should learn what is the ring and different type of rings and its properties. Okay, thank you.